So if you want to learn deep learning, because it is a very important technology for future now, you could either join a class or you could join a university's degree either in person or online. But they do take a lot more commitment. If you want to learn it on your own, okay, that path is also available. And I want to share how I learned it on my own in this year. I've also done this in 2015, 16ish. I wasn't able to learn that well then, but hopefully all of my journey, my personal journey, and in my experience as a trainer, what I have seen people struggle in this field, hopefully this should help you in your journey. And how to do it on your own, let's just see it with slides. So, two things to keep in mind. If you want to learn deep learning, you have to have a good learning plan and you have to have correct mindset. Okay. Not many people actually plan how to learn something, and actually, it might work well in stable subjects like, let's say, physics, because there is not many changes happening in physics, and whichever book is which is very high quality and well reputed, it is actually that standard is set. We have books like HC Verma or Iridov or some other books which act as a standard thing which help all beginners get into the field, whereas in deep learning, because it is new, this field is highly chaotic. Okay, so without a good learning plan, without it meeting a few important things, you will most likely have some unbalanced knowledge. So if you don't do your plan, which is incremental, you will try to be over ambitious, try to learn with something which might be too deep into mathematical research, and you will not make any progress and you will give up. This is the biggest reason I've seen people not make any progress, wherein they jump to a more complex thing directly. Then the next mistake they do is like whatever thing they learn from, even if they start with something which is good for beginner, it does not connect into a coherent thread. Because there are different tutorials on YouTube, different blogs, different authors doing different things, different people have different blogs which are better for different things. So we have to look for alternates, and because of that, it is very defragmented and unorganized. So we miss a lot of important things. So this comprehensiveness is also very important. We need to have, and most importantly, we need to make our knowledge functional. So these three things are very important, and without it, your learning plan is definitely going to be very weak. And what is the mindset with which we need to learn? The mindset of we need to learn deeply here. Okay, I've seen many people here. They just do this topic for 5 6 months, and kind of like think that they are the researchers and the top dog in the field. By keeping up with the research, by repeating what someone else has invented, you are not capable of doing the same innovation or some other innovation. Okay, you simply are not. To learn something thoroughly, we have to reach the that level, and only then we can operate at the peak of the field, right? So most people don't have that aim in the first place. So to learn deep learning, as long as you keep these two things in mind, you are actually good to go. And for this learning deeply mindset, the simple thing you need to keep in mind is there is a favorite quote of mine you might find in my TEDx talk. The quote is, "You learn more from reading one book 10 times than by reading 10 books once." So by doing things again and again, iteratively, we can see deeper layer of expertise and knowledge in it, and only then we have learned something thoroughly. So we have to keep this in mind to learn well. So let's start, and let's start looking at the learning plan itself. So in my video of deep learning landscape, I talked about this thing wherein things are built on top of each other. So something developed first, and on top of that, something else was developed. Even pyramids, the natural wonder, they're huge. If you have not gone to pyramids, you should. I have not gone to them, but I have roamed pyramids in video game. So that it's an amazing experience. So if you check their archaeological films, huge pyramid is not built, directly. They have a smaller pyramid, then after some time they grow on top of it, and then this keeps on happening for generations, and that's how a complex structure is built. Similarly, field also develops the same way in a layered way. And if we want to learn something advanced, we have to know something which comes before it. So for that, things to master first. For our learning plan to be incremental, there are some things we have to know first. Without that, we are not able to build on top of anything. So it is we should actually start from computer vision if you want to learn deep learning, because in vision we can actually see the data, we can understand the data on our own. Simply if I'm shown a picture of a let's say what is in front of me, let's say lip balm. Okay, if I'm shown a picture of a lip balm, I want to learn to recognize this brand. Then I can just ask the neural network, see, tell me what kind of image activates you the most? What kind of image turns you on the most? And if we find that, we actually can see, oh, you're not learning what I want you to learn. Maybe I can change the kind of data I have. So because we can see the images and understand the images, this is a good starting point. So as a first entry point, we have to have land on a solid ground and master the essential things. So master this thing first, which is like a knowledge which is developed in the field from 1990, from where we were able to identify simple digits, 0 to 9 digits, 2012, where we could identify complex, more than 1,000 real life objects from a big image. So, this is a subsection which is the first foundational block. Things are built on top of this. So, not only learn this first, but master this first, and then, okay, then I can kind of like show you the learning plan. So I can show it's like back last year when I was doing this, I'd made this chaotic learning plan, things I need to kind of like learn. Where is this thing? So all the possible courses which might kind help, and is this the different kind of courses, different kind of categories. If I want to, I had divided into two phases. So all of that I have kind of like consolidated into this Notion link. I will share the link on the YouTube description. Okay. So this is where all of this learning thing, which the in the slide I talked about, you can actually find. Let's see the learning plan, which is incremental, comprehensive, and functional. Functional, when we can directly apply the knowledge to real use case. Otherwise, we are just in theoretical realms, right? So the learning plan is we divide these things into two groups. The first 101 minimum slash the essential stuff. At bare minimum, we need to know this. We get started with the field. We vet our we kind of like we get the first blood. We know end to end first example of how to solve a problem with a certain thing in its entirety. So by doing this, you're kind of like in a very good place on which we can build the subsequent knowledge. So the first pass to not only learn and master is these courses. So some of these courses are very nice. Okay. If you kind of like check, I think this 101 is the category. I think this is a good beginner friendly learning plan. If you do this, you should be of a level wherein you can achieve the expert rank on Kaggle. So if you go on Kaggle rankings, there is no wise contributor and expert. This expert is actually not really expert. You could call it you have just started in the field. You have just gotten your first things and you can solve a few problems, not all of them. So by doing these 101 courses, which includes few Kaggle Learn courses, they're not that big. The few courses which focus on understanding and concepts. So by having this good balance, you need to have what was the slide saying? We need to have incremental learning plan, comprehensive so that it covers everything needed, and functional so that we can immediately apply that knowledge to the things we need. So things which fit that course. So visual and functional, which allows us to build understanding, some of the basic research papers. These are really great resources. Okay, this Sendex series, if you check, it's one of the most beautiful and good for understanding video series I've ever seen on neural network. Same about by Three Blue One Brown. You should actually not only see these videos once, but if you can watch them more than 10-15 times, it will allow you to thoroughly master the fundamentals of neural networks. I still watch them, maybe because my memory is not as good as most people. But I do think you need to go through these things repeatedly until the whole conceptual, intuitive, even the programmating part you are thoroughly master with, and then you can innovate on top of it. When all of these things you have practiced until it is natural, then you are actually free to apply these things to whatever problem you want to solve. And that problem will give a lot of value to either company or you as an individual. So this is the 101 things, absolute bare minimum things. So just search on with these titles and you'll find these are really good courses with less than, I would say, 30 40 years of effort, or maybe 1 or 2 months of efforts, you should be able to get through these all of these things. They are incremental in complexity, they are grouped together very nicely in terms of what they teach. So this is phase one, wherein you get started. Okay, then if you want to build on top of it, then this is where you see the comprehensiveness of the courses. Wherein the first one was the bare minimum you need to know, and then the next one is the comprehensive thing, so that our entire knowledge is balanced. We don't want our knowledge to be loop-sided, and we don't want to be expert in just one thing. So for that, there are a few courses. Specifically, this deep learning specialization course, this course which is taught to Stanford students for their undergraduate course. So, or if you want to check AI degree in by Stanford College, this is one of the three specializations which kind of like give you that degree. So this is designed to be comprehensive. Fast AI Part 1 and 2, again, well reputed, very great courses designed to be comprehensive. So, what we need to do is we need to take few courses and understand them thoroughly instead of going on internet and have too many courses and just get distracted and never converge or learning ever at all. So, this comprehensive part, people kind of like comprehensive but limited to finish. I think this addition is good, but limited in number so that we can actually finish them. Not just people. I think I also do the, and maybe only I keep on trying different things. But in general, I've seen people don't finish the courses they have planned and just keep on expanding and don't progress. So this would ensure the whole comprehensive knowledge, which is complete. It will also ensure that it is immediately actionable. All of these courses, they are from different point of view. Okay, this course is from neuroscientist perspective. This course is from a deep learning researcher perspective. So everyone has a different perspective, and because of these things, when you combine them, you actually have a much better point of view, which combines all of these things together. So have this, build a diverse portfolio of courses, limit those in number, don't include more than 10, 20, 30 courses, and definitely do not include too difficult courses. So total in number, your course should be less in between 5 to max 10, and just split them into first group, first being the introductory, then where you are at a intermediate level, then, even more complicated parts at the 201 level, and then you can go to the more complicated stuff. So going back here again, why am I closing the slide? So going back here again, which is we start with the first layer, we finish with the first layer, so that we can build on top of this. We can go for NLP, we can build for complicated image or NLP use cases. So for all of that, it starts with this whole thing which teaches you just image classification, the 101 section, and here when you go you will graduate to all other problems here. So these problems, like not all of them, but these ones and these ones, these 201 will graduate to allow you to graduate to the So make learning plan like this. Ensure you complete and converge your learning, and ensure that you have an intuitive understanding, not just remember the code. Deep learning field is actually very easy to remember. It's very hard to understand, but it is very easy to remember because codes are very small in lines. So 100, 200 lines is enough to write entire chat GPT. Just 200 lines of code. And if you just keep reading it, writing it again and again, a lot of it is standardized. You can simply remember it. Okay. So it makes us feel like we have understood it, whereas in reality, all we have done is memorized it. So take time, build skills incrementally, and when you do that, you actually will have a very strong, solid foundation where you can easily go to the cutting edge frontier knowledge you might be seeking. But if you directly jump to that, you're directly going to fall.